First, fast, accurate. You're watching WSBT 22 News, first in the morning.
On Monday, America celebrates President's Day, and the Studebaker National Museum will hold several events sharing insights for that time period surrounding the Civil War and its lasting effects here in our area, South Bend. This morning we have George Garner. He's the Special Projects Coordinator at the Studebaker National Museum in South Bend. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. First of all, you're holding a big public presentation called Forever Free, Emancipation and Segregation in South Bend. But you've got a lot of other events going on for President's Day and the holiday. Tell me a little bit about what the museum is doing.
Sure. So we're going to start on Monday, bring in a Washington $1 bill and a Lincoln $5 bill, and you'll be able to get admission with kids under 17 free. So
that's pretty inexpensive.
And a great opportunity for people to see some of our local museums.
Nice family event. Let's talk about your presentation. Again, Sunday, February 22nd. What are you talking about?
So I'm going to be talking about President Lincoln and the Emancipation Proclamation. I think we all learned in 4th grade that this was a document where by one stroke of the pen, Abraham Lincoln magically freed millions of enslaved peoples. That's not exactly what happened. It's a lot more complicated than that. So we go into that and how that started that system of segregation that we had, particularly in the Deep South, but unfortunately even here in South Bend.
Will you talk about how it affected?
Definitely. We're going to go from one to the other. We're going to go from that national straight to a place that it happened here, actually just a couple doors down from the Studebaker Museum.
This is, of course, a long presentation, and we've only got 3 minutes, but it is very interesting. One of the things you were telling me earlier is you're busting some myths. So we have this idea in our head that you know, when President Lincoln signed that document, it was like slaves everywhere, you know, were suddenly free, but that's not the way it went.
No, and it's worth noting, too, he carved out exceptions for where the Emancipation Proclamation did not affect, and that was everywhere in the North. The proclamation was supposed to affect the Confederate states. What he wrote didn't exactly affect people who were rebelling against the United States at that point. So it was a very calculated document.
And very controversial. There was a lot of dialogue. Like you think about politics now, that went on back then too.
This is one of the first and one of the most famous executive orders by a president. And that's definitely something that's in the news today. And I think no matter where you stand on that issue, it's worth noting that this too was an executive order by a president.
And then what did that mean for our South Bend area? How did that affect people here? Were there long-lasting, like, implications that we can see now?
Sure. So the Emancipation Proclamation and what it did, and with us trying to figure out how we transition from a slave economy in the South into a free economy, that ended up causing the system of segregation that, again, we think of happening just in the Deep South, but it did happen here in South Bend as well. All
things you're going to talk about in depth, again, February 22nd. Where can people get more information on that, including times, prices, that kind of thing?
There's our website, studebakermuseum.org, and of course through Facebook and Twitter.
We've put that up right there on the screen, and we'll also put it on our website and our Facebook page. George, thank you so much. We appreciate it. Of course, events going on at the Studebaker Museum Monday and the 22nd. Appreciate it.